Hello, my name is Jeffrey Contreras, and I'm going to demonstrate the concept of phishing. Before I begin, this is for educational purposes only. Now, regarding to phish, how does one start phishing? Well, first, phishing is a social engineering concept that involves an act of deception on the part of an attacker, which is meant to trick well-meaning individuals into providing access to unauthorized information or systems. Social engineering allows one to pretend to be someone else or convince the receiver to give information. One form of obtaining information is phishing. So, what is phishing? Phishing is again a social engineering technique that involves tricking the user into giving private information about his or her account with a large organization. A common form of phishing is an attacker sending an email message that appears to be from a credible source or organization to the receiver. The email address is likely to have a link to a website where the receiver is tricked into inputting confidential information that would then be used for unethical purposes or a larger attack. So, how does one start phishing? You will first go to your Kali Linux terminal. So, you will search through your applications and find the application that is labeled Social Engineering Toolkit. Now, what this does, that it will help create the phishing process of the website. Here in the menu, you have an option of 6 options and an exit option. For this demonstration, we will use the social engineering attacks option. Then, since we're going to phish on a website, we will use the website attack vectors. Now, since we're going to be web cloning a website that has a username and password field and obtain the confidential information, we are going to use credential harvester attack method. So 3. Now, we have web templates, site cloner, and custom import. Since we're cloning a website to obtain the information, we're going to use site cloner. We're going to enter the IP address of our machine, which is provided here. I will enter that. Now, we're going to enter the URL for us to clone. So, we're going to use Facebook. https://www.facebook.com. So here, it is cloning the website, the login website for Facebook, and it will take a little bit, but it won't take long for the cloning process to finish. So now, what we're going to do is create a fake email, which I already had the liberty to create. And before we send the email for phishing, we're going to make a tiny URL to hide our cloning website. So here we're going to enter our IP address, create the tiny URL. We're going to copy this and send it to our receiver. So this email, which is attackerjanedoe at gmail.com, we're going to send this email to Mr. Jane Doe victim at gmail.com. We want to make it to look official, so we're going to create a subject line that's called Facebook customer support. Now, there are techniques to make this email look more official, but this is the technique I'm going to be using. So we're going to create the fake message on our email. So we're going to say, there has been a security breach on your account. Please log in through Please log in through this link to prevent the breach. We're going to paste our link here. Now, this is just for like a concept practice thing. In a real world scenario, this message would look more official. The link wouldn't be that obvious. But for this scenario, this is just a demonstration. So, right now we have our receiver, our subject line, our fake message, and our URL that we hid our IP address. We're going to send this to our receiver. Now, next, we're going to look at the receiver's machine to confirm that the email has been sent. Now, right now we are at Mr. John Doe victim at gmail.com. So we have confirmed that the email has been received from Jane Doe, Facebook customer support. There has been a security breach on your account. Please log in through this link to prevent the breach. So the unsuspecting receiver may click this link because of a security breach on the account. So right now it is showing the Facebook login page. Now, before we enter the credentials, we're going to go back to the Kali Linux and check on our terminal. So right now, our Kali Linux terminal has shown that the IP address and the website cloned has been used. And now the information will be displayed here in our terminal. So, back to our Windows machine. So, the unlikely receiver will enter their login information. So, I'll just enter John Doe victim at fiu.edu. Password. I'm going to specify password 123. I will log in. Now it's not the correct login information, but as we see in our Kali Linux terminal, we have found that the receiver has entered a possible username and a password. So here we see that the email is John Doe victim at fiu.edu. And the password is password123. So now, this is the concept of phishing. Phishing is when the attacker sends an fake email address, fake email message to the unlikely receiver who believes that it is a credible source and gives the confidential information to the attacker. And that's it. And to close the video off, this demonstration is for educational purposes only. Thank you.